The algorithm knows you, and now it wants to manage you. Tonight, we look into the world of AI-driven personalization, a promise of a world tailored to our desires. As it moves from our shopping carts to our workplaces, it's creating a new reality of surveillance, bias, and a phenomenon some call digital Taylorism. The idea is as old as the first computer, that one day, machines could think. They would not just calculate, but learn, predict, and understand. For decades, this concept remained in the realm of science fiction. Now, it is simply a fact of life. This quiet revolution is powered by algorithms, the vast and complex sets of instructions that analyze our digital footprints to anticipate our needs, wants, and behaviors. It is the invisible engine behind the Netflix recommendation that knows your mood, the Spotify playlist that unearths a forgotten favorite, and the social media ads that follows you across the internet with unnerving prescience. This is the world of AI-driven personalization, a convergence that has become the bedrock of the modern digital economy. Machine learning models feed on trillions of data points, from every click and search to every purchase and pause, to build intricate caricatures of our tastes and preferences. For businesses, the value is astronomical. This is more than just marketing. It is a new form of capital. Increased engagement, higher conversion rates, and fierce customer loyalty are the spoils of a war waged in petabytes. The goal is no longer just to sell a product, but to build an ecosystem so perfectly tailored to your digital self that leaving it feels unthinkable. But as these systems move from optimizing consumer choice to managing human lives, a far more troubling picture emerges. The same logic that recommends a movie is now being used to grant a loan, screen a job applicant, or monitor a worker's productivity. The promise of efficiency is shadowed by the peril of dehumanization. Welcome to the era of algorithmic management. Researchers are beginning to identify a new, insidious form of risk embedded in the code that governs our lives. As John Howard, MD, noted in the American Journal of Industrial Medicine, the rise of sophisticated algorithms in the workplace is creating a digital Taylorism. This is a reference to the early 20th century obsession with scientific management that treated humans as mere cogs in an industrial machine. Today, worker autonomy is eroded by systems that dictate tasks, track movements, and measure performance with relentless, opaque logic. This can lead to work intensification, profound psychosocial stress, and a chilling sense of being perpetually watched by a faceless, digital boss. The data that fuels personalization is also the source of its most potent dangers: privacy, security, and bias. The collection of vast personal data sets creates unprecedented risks, from data breaches to misuse. A more fundamental problem lies within the algorithms themselves. As author Cathy O'Neil termed them, these systems can become weapons of math destruction. When trained on historical data, an algorithm inevitably learns the biases embedded in that data. If past hiring practices favored men, an AI trained on that data will learn to do the same. If credit decisions were historically biased against minority neighborhoods, a predictive model will codify and scale that discrimination with the unassailable veneer of digital logic. Garbage in, garbage out, the old programmer's adage, takes on a sinister new meaning when the garbage is decades of systemic inequality, and the out determines a person's future. Despite these risks, the march of algorithmic integration is relentless. The future promises even more sophisticated personalization, with AI that anticipates needs we have not yet articulated. This evolution raises critical questions of governance. Emerging regulations like the EU's AI Act and the proposed Algorithmic Accountability Act in the US represent early attempts to build a framework for transparency and oversight. The core challenge is to balance the undeniable benefits of these technologies with the fundamental rights of the individual. The dream of a machine that thinks is here. It is curating our lives, managing our jobs, and shaping our opportunities. But as we hand over more of our decisions to these black box systems, we must confront the reality that their logic is not our own. They are built to optimize for metrics, not for human experience. The most urgent task is not to perfect the code, but to instill it with our values, ensuring that as these machines get smarter, they do not cause us to forget what it means to be human.